Spring training baseball continues from the CenturyLink Sports Complex in Fort Myers, Florida, where this afternoon the Twins take on Tampa Bay in Grapefruit League action from Hammond Stadium. Welcome to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North. I'm Tom Hanneman. Twins focusing on the Rays today, a Tampa Bay team that outscored them 22-1 in 2 games last month. Opening day now just 3 weeks away for the Twins, taking on Kansas City at Target Field. When we return, Corey Provis, Dan Gladden with the call.
Back at it goes Kevin Kiermaier. He's on the run, jumps up and makes the catch.
Here's this afternoon's starting lineups for the visiting Tampa Bay Rays, managed by Kevin Cash. 7-7-1 is their record. Grapefruit League action. Leading off, it'll be Malik Smith in center field. Tim Beckham will bat second, play shortstop. Jake Bauers at first base bats third. Steven Sosa Jr. in right field bats fourth. Casey Gillespie will DH bat fifth. Nick Franklin in the lineup at second base. He'll bat sixth, batting seventh. Catching Jesus Sucre. Shane Peterson will be in left field batting eighth. Daniel Robertson at third base. He'll bat ninth. And pitching will be Jose De Leon. Here's a starting lineup. It's a good one for your Minnesota Twins. Zach Granite in center field leads off. J.B. Shuck in right field bats second. Joe Mauer will DH bat third. Robbie Grossman in left field bats fourth. Catching batting fifth, it'll be Jason Castro. Nico Goodrum will be at first base batting sixth. At third base batting seventh, it'll be Danny Santana. Benji Gonzalez bats eighth. He'll play second base. Ade Adrianza at shortstop batting ninth. And pitching for the Twins here this afternoon will be Justin Haley. Umpires Ryan Blakeney will be calling balls and strikes. Fielding Colbreth at first base. Jeff Kellogg at second base. Sam Holbrook, the umpire, at third base. Overcast skies here this afternoon, but still good temperature to get you started. My partner, here's Corey Provis.
All right, Danny, thank you. We'll be Malik Smith, Tim Beckham, and then Jake Bauers due up for the Rays, and Justin Haley, Rule 5 pick. On the mound today for the Twins, 6'5", 230, making his first start, 6th appearance overall. And the opening fastball from Haley is high. Ball 1. Smith with Atlanta last year, 72 games, hit .238. And the 1-0 pitch, a bunt on a line past third, near shore, barehanded pick, and the throw is late, and the ball skips off the glove of Goodrum. Backing up is Gonzalez. It will be a bunt base hit for Malik Smith, rather. And that is a strength that he possesses. A real good bunter, works on it every day as a special drill that he incorporates into his daily routine. He displayed it right there, pushing a bunt past Santana. And he is on to begin the day for Tampa Bay.
Usually you try to see that, trying to get it by the pitcher, but good play right there, seeing that, shortstop's playing a little bit deep. All he's got to do is get it by that third baseman. And now a threat to steal.
Stole 16 bases with Atlanta last year, acquired in a trade with Seattle for Drew Smyly earlier this offseason, as Tim Beckham floats one foul back behind the plate. Beckham, first overall pick in 2008. And Matt Duffy slowed this spring so far, recovering from an injury. Tim Beckham has a chance to be the opening day shortstop at Tampa Bay in just a few weeks. And Smith takes his lead, one on, nobody out, righty to righty. Check on the runner, low throw, skips away from Goodrum into foul territory, and Smith will make second base easily. Nico Goodrum hasn't played a ton of first base. If you look over his professional career, has not seen many reps at first base. A guy that's really going to be competing for a spot at short at AAA to begin the minor league season. And now it's Smith at second base, nobody out after the error. On Haley. Beg your pardon, they're going to score that E3, not E1. Pickoff play at second, and this one gets deflected off the back of Smith, and thankfully stays in the infield. Boy, interesting start, Danny.
Well, I said it was a good lineup, didn't I? And you just mentioned Goodrum not playing a lot of first base. He is the one charged with that error, but it's day off tomorrow, and I think that maybe Paul's looking at possibly giving guys 2 days off here today and scheduled off day tomorrow. But you've got some other guys that are first basemen that are not playing.
No balls and one strike on Beckham. Smith at second base, nobody out. Here's the 0-1. It runs inside.
And you're looking at the kid. I think the evaluation period today is a few things. You're looking at Danny Santana over there at third base. You want to see him with some action. Of course, Adrianza at shortstop. And I think that you want to see.
Swing a fly ball, playable into right. Should be deep enough to advance Smith. The right fielder Schuck will call and catch. Smith will tag and make third with a slide. So a productive out for Beckham as he advances Smith to third base. One out, man at third. No score in the first for the slugging first baseman Jake Bauers.
And to finish that up, Corey, I think Justin Haley is a guy being really kind of monitored here today. Rule 5 guy. Going to be a starter somewhere. But you want to be able to see what he features out here today.
Haley last year combined at AA and AAA with the Red Sox organization. 26 starts, appeared in 27 games, was good against righties. Lefty's not too shabby either, but righties hit .221 against him. Seeing a lefty now in Bauers as he taps one foul on the ground past first. Tampa Bay already this spring has clubbed 22 home runs, and Bauers has a few of them. In the second inning of a ball game yesterday, Bauers hit a 2-run homer that hit off the roof of the Rays office building in right field. We've been there many times. That's a long way away from home plate. So Bauers, big time power. And the 0-1, a curve, a swing and a fly ball into center field. Playable for granted, but this will score a run. Will make the two-hand catch. Smith will tag and score. It's a sac fly for Bauers, and it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. For the time being, that run is unearned. And now Steven Souza Jr. will be the right fielder for Tampa Bay this year at 17 home runs, knocked in 49 last year. Righty to righty. Here comes Haley from the windup. And a fastball pumps in for a strike called. At 90 miles per hour. Haley does have the 4-pitch mix. His fastball 89 to 91, slider, curve, and a change. And the pitch lined to third and speared by Santana. Reaching down near his left cleat, Santana made a nice play off a rocket hit by Souza. Ending the inning, the Rays score 1. It's unearned. A hit, an error, they leave none. We played 1 half in Fort Myers. Tampa Bay 1. Twins coming up on your home for Twins baseball. Game time temperature 78 delightful degrees today. Here in Fort Myers. No, it's been a rough few days for many. In Twins territory, a brutal winter storm in mid-March. Talked to some folks in Marshall today. Got a foot in Marshall. Great weather here today. Still time to join us down here as well. 1-0 Tampa Bay. It'll be Zach Granite, J.B. Shuck, and then Joe Mauer against Jose De Leon. Young right-hander, Puerto Rican, 6'2", 190. Came over from the Dodgers for Logan Forsythe this offseason. And the 0-1 on Zach. Not a good cut there. Full. The pitch running inside near the hands. At 91, 0-2. And that's where De Leon has been so far this spring. In 2 appearances before today. He's been about 91, maybe 94. And now the 0-2 is high. Although late last year, Danny, he finished up with the Dodgers. He was hitting 95, 96, but steady so far this spring. We're told 91 to 94.
Well, it looks like he has all the tools out there, but he's got movement on that 91, 92.
And the 1-2 misses outside.
All fastballs, good delivery right over the top. Little run on it.
And De Leon, huge strikeout numbers in the minor leagues last year. And the 2-2. Granite struck out swinging off speed that time. A changeup is also a plus pitch that De Leon features. And he got Granite right there. 1 up, 1 down.
He improved last year what he did, 7-1 at AAA. Last year, 16 starts, got to the big leagues. Of course, he had 4 starts there, was 2-0, and his name was circulated around. A lot of talk, in particular with Brian Dozier. But I think that landed in a good place here with the Tampa Bay Rays.
They always seem to have pitching, don't they?
Yes.
So 1 down for J.B. Shuck. Inside corner strike called, the fastball.
You know, and it seems like the Rays they're not afraid to pull the trigger on a trade. Once they target somebody, they're willing to give up that player.
And the 0-1 on Shuck. Shows bunt, pulls it back. The appeal to third. He did not go. Well, the kid that scored the first run so far today, Malik Smith, he came over in a trade from Seattle. Drew Smyly went back to the Mariners in that deal. That deal was finalized on January 11th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Shuck as he cues one foul right near Mauer, who waits on deck.
Well, one thing the Rays, you look at them historically, what they've done, especially I think if you go back to the Lou Piniella days, they went out and they signed some veteran guys. Boggs ended up there. McGriff was there. They had some good players, and then all of a sudden they started to develop within their system, and that was Madden there, and they would sprinkle in a few veterans.
Popped up, playable. Behind the bag at third. Now drifting back into foul territory is Robertson, another guy that came over to the Rays in a trade. And Zobrist trade a couple years ago between Tampa Bay and Oakland. And it's Robertson making the squeeze. 2 down. Base is empty for Mauer, DHing today. 1-0 Tampa.
Well, I remember the Tampa Rays. I think they pulled a trade off with the Twins years back when they got Matt Garza and I want to say Jason Bartlett.
Yeah.
And in return, Twins got Delman Young. Kind of a good trade. Delman did have 1 good year with the Twins. But that was a trade that Bartlett, everyday shortstop, took them to the playoffs. Garza, big part of the rotation for Tampa.
Strike called on Joe. DHing today. Mauer 2 out of 7 so far here in the spring. Again, the lineup for the Twins: Granite, Shuck, Mauer, Grossman, Castro, Goodrum, Santana, Gonzalez, and Adrianza. Twins today: the red tops, white pants, red cap, blue bill. And now the 0-1 in the dirt. Skips off the glove of the catcher, Sucre. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tampa Bay, the baby blue tops, gray pants. Navy blue cap, light blue bill. Jose De Leon, 6'2", 190. Where's number 87? And the 1-1 is high. And a fastball, ball 2. He does that because he was born on August 7th. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Joe. Robbie Grossman on deck if Mauer can prolong this inning. And here's the pitch, a swing, a slicing drive, hit well left center field, but might be playable near the wall as Smith leaps up at the top of the wall and pulls it down. A deep drive from Mauer, but a better catch from Mallex Smith. Up against the wall in left center field. Went up and took an extra base hit away from Joe. Don't believe it would have been a home run. Inning underway. Casey Gillespie leads off the Rays second as Justin Haley misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Corey and Danny back upstairs. We're now joined by a special guest and who started yesterday's ball game here. Twin starter Phil Hughes. And the 2-0 pitch is pulled to first down the line and foul. And now it's 2-1. Phil, this is our first chance to chat here in the spring. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Corey?
Doing just fine. You've gotten 3 starts in now. Are you focused on numbers considering the injury that you suffered and your recovery this past offseason?
I mean, it's not the most important thing at this point. You know, I feel like, I just need to be healthy first and foremost, and then, kind of work on everything I need to work on. And, obviously as competitors, we want to go out there and get a bunch of zeros every time out, but sometimes the process comes before the results, and but it's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Is the process mixing in more change-ups? Is that a part of it for you?
Yeah, that's been a big thing, especially the last couple times out. Now that I'm up to 4 and 5 innings, just to kind of mix things up a little bit and incorporate my changeup more, and I've felt really good about it. So it's going to be a big thing this year, just to give hitters a different look, and we're always adapting and trying to get better, and what better time than spring training to do, kind of do those things.
Fastball misses high. 3-2 on Casey Gillespie as he strikes out swinging. Good pitch there from Haley. 1 up and 1 down as we chat with Phil Hughes from the Twins third base dugout.
Phil, have you worked with that changeup before when you were the Yankees or prior, or is this a pitch that maybe was approached to you in the offseason and here's what we need to do and work on it?
It's a pitch I've had the last couple of years here, but I haven't really thrown it all that much, and it's been something that's been a conscious effort. And it's not so much the grip or anything like that. It's more so just the mentality and the counts I'm throwing it in and the confidence I'm throwing it with. And I think that's the biggest thing, because you can work all you want on stuff in the bullpen, but you're really getting confidence with pitches out on the mound, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
No balls and 1 strike on Nick Franklin, who swings and chops foul at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. You suffered 2 injuries last season, the broken bone in your leg, but then also the thoracic outlet syndrome. Any correlation with that, the second injury, Phil, and the dip in velocity the last couple of years?
Well, I think that was the biggest factor. I'd these last couple of years, I'd go out there and after 2 or 3 innings, my arm would just feel dead, and I was getting numbness and tingling in my fingers, and couldn't really pinpoint what was going on until kind of ironically enough, I break a bone in my leg and have a bunch of time to kind of figure out what's going on with my arm, and was able to determine that I needed this operation. So I don't know if there was somebody looking down on me and decided I need a broken bone in my leg to figure out what's going on with my arm, but thankful that they kind of figured it out, and hopes that gets me off to the races.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Franklin. Line foul off the screen back behind the plate. Rays lead 1-0 here in the second inning.
Phil, yesterday when you pitched out here, you threw a couple changeups, and usually you see guys throwing the changeup. It's usually against left-handed hitters. I noticed you did double up a couple times from right-handers. Is that also going to be kind of part of the focus?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it matters, lefty or righty. If anything, right-handers aren't expecting it as much from right-handers, so it's it can work especially well for you. And Neil's preached that ever since he's come over here. There's nothing wrong with right on right, left on left changeups, and I'm starting to see the results of that, and positively. So it's you know very well, if you got a changeup from the same side as your own, it's it's not always the first thing you're looking for.
3-2 is sent fouled on the third base side. Franklin still batting.
I also thought that Neil Allen's emphasizing strike 1 with you guys and pitching a little bit more inside. Is that also kind of, we saw it with Kyle Gibson, we've seen it with a lot of the guys out here, and yourself pitching inside, getting strike 1?
Yeah, no, that's going to open up everything for you. You're going to speed guys up a little bit, and then you can change the whole at bat that way. If guys are leaning out over the plate, they're not going to be as fooled on breaking balls and things like that, because they have more time to see the ball deep. So if they know they have to be quick because they know you're going to come inside to guys, it's opens everything up for you.
Little flare back of third base. That's going to find the outfield grass, a base hit for Franklin as he takes a wide turnaround first, and the Rays have their second hit. As Franklin is on, that'll bring up the catcher, Jesus Sucre. How much, if at all, have you looked at what you accomplished, maybe on video, in 2014, and not just with injury, but also performance? What's been missing the last 2 seasons compared to what you did back in 14?
Well, you know, the first thing is my aggressiveness. You know, I go back and I look at that year, and you know, I had so much confidence in attacking the zone, and you know, not worried about, you know, balls over the plate and things like that. And with the velocity dip, you know, I kind of got away from that because I was, you know, I knew if I was going to miss on the plate, it might get hit hard somewhere, and I didn't have any of that fear a couple years ago. So that's the biggest thing, is just being healthy, getting back to who I am, and you know, attacking the zone, but still being smart. And I think that's where the changeup kind of comes into play there. And you know, it's only going to make your fastball better once you get that going. And you know, I have no doubt that I can, you know, get back to being that guy that attacks the zone and you know, isn't afraid of you know, anybody in a lineup.
Slider misses down low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Sucre. Rays 1, Twins nothing. Tampa Bay hitting in the second. Franklin at first base, and the 1-1 is lifted foul off the screen, back behind the plate. Getting back to the rib injury, I read earlier that you saved the portion of your rib, and you're still deciding what you're going to do with it. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I mean, it's mine, right?
Right.
I wasn't going to leave the hospital without it. But yeah, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with it, but it's pretty gross. So I got to figure out something, because right now it's just in a little cup, and tired of looking at it.
1-2 fly to left center field. Grossman with the play to his left. He'll squeeze it for out number 2. So it's not like sitting in a shoebox. It is in some kind of chemical resting and waiting.
Yeah, some solution. I don't know what it is, but it's yeah, it's sitting in there just marinating.
2 outs, and now Shane Peterson in left field today. Rays lead 1-0. Have you watched this guy throw it all so far, whether it be in a game or in a bullpen, Justin Haley?
I've seen a couple pens, and spent some time with him on the backfield, doing PFPs and stuff like that. And he's got a good arm. Does a little crossfire action. Lands kind of closed, which, you know, helps him hide the ball, I think, a little bit.
Sky to center, hit a ton. Granted back at the wall. It's up and gone off the batter's eye. So Shane Peterson to dead center, a 2-out, 2-run homer on a curveball there. And the Rays now with 23 spring training home runs have a 3-0 lead here in the second. Have you been following the World Baseball Classic?
A little bit here and there, yeah. Following the guys from our team that have made their way out there. I know we got, you know, a handful with Puerto Rico, and be nice to see the U.S. do well this year and get some excitement about that tournament here in the States. So yeah, I followed a little bit.
2 down for, this is, I believe, Dan Robertson, the third baseman.
It was announced today that Irvin Santana is going to go join the Dominican team, and he's got to be excited about that.
Yeah, I saw that. Not really sure how the rosters work with that. But,
I know.
You know, I think they have a designated pool of pitchers that they can use, you know, depending on what their situation is with pitch counts and things like that. So, yeah, it'll be good for him to go, and obviously the Dominicans are the favorites, and you know, it's got to be an exciting thing to pitch in.
Are you a little disappointed that the premier U.S. players maybe aren't there? Would you
disappointed maybe, but you know, you can't blame the guys.
No, I know.
You know, it's such a long year, and you know, guys are dealing with different stuff. You saw Scherzer, you know, backed out because he had a thumb thing or finger thing, something like that. And, you know, you can't blame those guys. You know, they have an obligation to their clubs first, and to be healthy and ready to go for the season. So that's just the nature of it. There's no perfect time to do it. But, you know, I think with the excitement around the tournament, especially internationally, that, you know, it's a good thing.
This is Patrick Leonard batting. Robertson was scratched right before the game, so Leonard, the third baseman, flies out to center. And with that, the inning is over. Phil, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good chatting with you guys.
All right, Phil Hughes, we thank him for his time. The Rays scored 2 on the homer from Peterson. They leave none. After an inning and a half in Fort Myers, it now reads Tampa Bay 3, Twins nothing on your home for Twins baseball. Rays on top 3-0. Twins batting in the bottom half of the second. JT Chagua is warming up in the Twins bullpen down the left field line. It'll be Robbie Grossman, Jason Castro, and then Nico Goodrum due up against right-hander Jose De Leon. As a fastball misses low and away, ball 1. On Robbie. 8 hits so far this spring. He's knocked in 3 runs. Switch hitting outfielder. Led the Twins in on-base percentage last year at .386. Strike is called 1-1. Twins getting a look at Jose De Leon today, and the 1-1 is banged foul back behind the plate. Last year, De Leon, he battled some injuries early in the year, specifically to his right throwing shoulder. No surgery. So last year, just 16 starts in the minor leagues, but impressive numbers. 111 strikeouts in just over 86 innings up and inside. On Robbie, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Danny mentioned he had a few performances with the Dodgers, had 4 outings with LA last year. ERA over 6 in a small sample. And the 2-2 line to third and through. Base hit past a lunging arm of Leonard, the third baseman. So Grossman goes the opposite way. Twins have their first hit. 1 out, nobody out, trailing by 3. And here comes the catcher, Jason Castro.
Yeah, to get this guy here, they had to give up their second baseman, Logan Forsythe, but they felt that they were going to have Duffy from the Giants over there and fill in that void. Tough to give up a good young arm like this, but I think it goes to show you the depth that the Dodgers have for their staff.
Well, straight up trade, just 1 for 1. Forsythe to LA, and De Leon coming back in return.
But
now
just,
Castro.
Sorry, just watching De Leon. Haven't seen too many breaking balls from this guy. Mostly fastballs elevated up in the zone a little bit, and a good changeup.
Fastball misses high, ball 1. Well, De Leon could begin at AAA, and they will monitor his innings throughout the year. And 1-0 pitch is lifted foul off the screen back behind the plate. With the injury that he sustained last year, really didn't accumulate too many innings. Because of that, they will monitor his innings again this season.
You know, Corey, and with that injury you talked about last year, no surgery, but the shoulder, so maybe there's some concern on the Dodgers' part there. And I know that Tampa Bay checked the medical records out, and they felt safe enough or comfortable enough.
Check swing at a high fastball. He went. It'll cost Castro a strike, 1-2.
You know, it used to be where shoulder injuries were more of a concern than the elbow injury, and I think now it's kind of flipped a little bit. They feel they can kind of rehab a shoulder a little bit easier than a tender elbow.
1-2 strikes on the Twins catcher, Jason Castro. He's been busy so far down here. There's the 1-2, misses down and inside. Velocity at 90 miles per hour from De Leon. Jason, 11 homers, 32 knocked in last year. And Danny mentioned how Urban Santana is going to pitch for the Dominican team in the second round of the World Baseball Classic. De Leon, he may join Team Puerto Rico as they move along. And the 2-2 is outside. Speaking of that team, Jose Barrios started, yesterday? Struck out 6, I think, in 5 innings. Team USA is on to the next round. They beat Canada soundly last night. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Castro. Grossman at first base, nobody out. Tampa Bay leading 3-0. Now time called.
Did you see the end of that Canada-U.S. team, how after the ball game they kind of like little leaguers would come out and cross home plate and they all shook hands?
Nice. No?
Well, sportsmanship. Yeah, I get it.
Here's the payoff pitch. It's sent foul on the ground near the Twins third base dugout.
Do you see that being incorporated at the big league level?
No.
Maybe at the end of the game everybody shakes hands?
No. I see that in college basketball after every game, and I know some players and coaches don't love that.
Oh.
Right after a competitive game,
Well, I have a tough time sometimes when some of the other broadcasters come in and you have to shake their hand. You've witnessed that.
Yep,
I've seen that. I've seen you do the same.
Ball 4 inside. Especially if you just saw that individual in the bathroom. They didn't wash their hands. And they come in.
You don't know, but
that's a no-no.
That's when you say, hey, I'm fighting a cold here. Let me give you a little elbow.
Now Nico Goodrum. That Double-A last year, injury-plagued year. Just 49 games for Nico. Last year, that Double-A, he was bothered by a foot injury early last season. In fact, it kept Goodrum from joining the Twins for the exhibition series in Washington before the season began. A year ago this time. This is a switch hitter. Nico, 25 years old. And here it comes. He swings and misses. Off speed that time from De Leon. Nico almost down to a knee on that cut.
Yeah, the backswing got the catcher. Sucre, he looks like he's going to be okay, but that's a big swing. That top hand comes off.
Sucre trying to win a job. Looks like Kurt Casale will be the #1 catcher. Luke Maile in the mix, and the 0-1 on Goodrum had the plate missed low.
Yeah, they got Wilson Ramos. Remember, he came off that serious knee injury. They signed him to a 2-year deal, but he's not expected back until May.
And that's only to really hit Danny DH for now. Twins threatening, down by 3 in the second. 2 on, nobody out. And the 1-1, a drive in the air to right field. That is back. Souza turning, looking. It's up and gone. Game tied. 3-run homer, Nico Goodrum. One swing of the bat, back square, 3-3 in the second.
They challenged him with a fastball. First pitch, remember, changeup in the dirt. He fished on it, and then this time, boy, dropped that bat, hit good extension on that ball.
Landing in the seats, first or second row out in right center field. And the Twins have pulled even now, 3-3, a single, a walk, and a home run. Still nobody out for Danny Santana. Danny at third base today, as he looks at a fastball strike call, 0-1. Now, De Leon last year with the Dodgers in those 4 starts, just 17 innings, gave up 5 home runs. And the 0-1 pitch, ground ball right side. The second baseman to his left, Franklin fields and throws out Danny for the first out. Well, the Twins open the 2017 regular season at Target Field on Monday, April 3rd against the Kansas City Royals. And the first 30,000 fans will receive a Twins long sleeve hooded tee, courtesy of your local Northland Ford dealers. Go to twinsbaseball.com to get your tickets for one of the best days in all of sports, opening day 3 weeks from today. How about that? So 1 out for Benji Gonzalez, defending at second base. Takes high for ball 1. Yeah, 3 weeks out from opening day. All signs point to Irvin Santana and Danny Duffy. Twins and the Royals at Target Field. 2 balls and no strikes on Gonzalez. He was with the Mariners in the minor leagues last year, Double-A Jackson, as he taps one down the first base line and foul. Gonzalez is a switch hitter, and he is in the mix to be at short at Triple-A this year. Nico Goodrum, of course, could be in that conversation as well. That's where Gonzalez has played, short. 2 balls and 1 strike on the switch hitting second baseman, Eddie Adrianza, on deck. Here comes De Leon's 2-1 pitch, high ball 3. And the 3-1 pitch tapped foul. It'll roll near the Twins third base dugout. Twins had a split squad game yesterday and lost both. Losing here 8-6 to Baltimore. Also dropped a 1-run affair Up by 75, 4-3 against the Pirates in Bradenton. The 3-2 pop foul. Souvenir back behind the plate. Tomorrow, the second scheduled off day of the spring. And we're back here on Wednesday as the Cardinals make their second visit to Hammond Stadium this spring. The 3-2 pop foul again. Tyler Duffy will start against the Cardinals on Wednesday. And Danny, think about how the rotation looks right now with Trevor May sideline and Jose Barrios pitching for Team Puerto Rico in the WBC. And the 3-2, he got him. Strike 3 called on Gonzalez. And that is out number 2. Well, things amp up a bit more now. A guy like Tyler Duffy will start here on Wednesday. Alberto Mejia's thrown well. Justin Haley here today.
You know, I think they're really kind of zoning in on who that 5th guy is going to be. And then also looking at the schedule, Corey, you can skip that 5th starter. But then you're going to need somebody in the bullpen, long guy. So there's where some of these other guys might be able to kind of help themselves out, being able to kind of spot start and come out of the bullpen and pitch some innings. Because, like I said, with the days off, some teams will skip that 5th starter early in the season.
Right. Vogelsong won yesterday, 2 1/3. Here is Adrianza. Game tied 3-3 in the second. Base is empty, 2 outs, and the 0-1 is popped up. Into left, Shane Peterson backpedals about 5 steps. Now squares the shoulders and squeezes it to end the inning. But the Twins answer back behind a 3-run homer from Nico Goodrum after 2. It's now square 3-3 on your home for Twins baseball. Three hits, no walks. He struck out 1, gives way to right-hander JT Chagua. Hard-throwing right-hander is on for the 6th time. JT so far 5 innings. He has struck out 5. He has walked 2. Has allowed 5 earned runs so far down here. Mallex Smith, who bunted, scored a run. And the opening inning takes a pitch upstairs, a fastball from JT, ball 1. Corey, Danny upstairs. We're now joined by a special guest. We welcome back to the booth Nancy McPhee. Program Manager, Lee County Visitors Convention Bureau. That's a fancy title, Nancy. That's a long, good title.
Thanks for having me.
Swing and a miss by Smith. 1 ball, 1 strike. Always welcome and good to see you once again. We were chatting during the commercial break. You think about coming down here this time of year. There's baseball, there's beaches, there's the water, but there's always something new down here, right?
Right. So this year, we talked briefly last year about it. This year, we have an increase in the number of craft breweries. We have an ale trail that you can enjoy while you're visiting. There's about 8 of them in Lee County.
An ale trail. Elaborate. What does that mean if somebody wants to partake in that?
Sure. You get a passport, and the more breweries you visit, the better discounts you get on buying your growlers or different brews that they're brewing each day. And it extends into adjacent counties as well. So throughout Southwest Florida, Tri-County area, we probably have about 15 breweries.
Wow. Shagwell misses high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But there's been interest in that, right? There's been a rise.
Absolutely.
In that endeavor.
Increased interest in locally sourced all kinds of food, but breweries has been a big part of it. We also have a new List distillery downtown Fort Myers, along with Wicked Dolphin, which is our local run distillery.
Slider, strike 3 is Smith. Chase could not hold up. Down and inside. 1 up, 1 down. Game tied 3-3 in the third. That'll bring up the shortstop, Tim Beckham.
Nancy, do you actually get to go out and visit these breweries and maybe taste some of the craft beers?
Absolutely. It's part of the job. It's a job requirement.
Didn't we have the lady in here that was the food test?
Yes, with Karen Feldman.
Karen Feldman. So
from Florida Weekly.
So you have a favorite? Have you dialed it down as to, okay, we need to go here, here, and here?
Yeah, I like Point Ubell on Fort Myers Beach. They're brewing a No-See-Um, which is named after one of our aggressive mosquitoes out on the outer islands. No-See-Um Brewery. So, and we have Millennium is the newest one downtown that has just opened.
Strike on Tim Beckham. He fly to right his first time. JT Shagwell on the mound had a great finish to his 2016 season. The high leg kick comes home. The 0-1 fastball at the knees. Good pitch. And plenty on it. 95 on the radar gun, 0-2. But this is peak time, right? I mentioned all that goes on this time of year. Is this the make or break month or 6-7 weeks for the folks down here?
It absolutely is. Thanks to the Twins, we have seen a big increase in visitors, and March is our peak month, yes. It'll start trickling off after Easter.
Beckham strikes out swinging. Shagwell took something off. 88. It was down, so 2 up, 2 down. A good start for Shagwell. 3-3 game. Nobody on, and now Jake Bowers knocked it a run in the opening inning. What are you guys looking to add? Because there's so much to do down here. Folks are always looking to visit this part of the country this time of year. What other avenues you guys looking from a county perspective looking to pursue?
So we're looking to hook some millennials. We're looking, what do we have that can attract a younger demographic to our region? And so we're looking at things, more trails. So things like bike trails, dive trails. We have several artificial reefs off the coast of Lee County. So we're looking to coordinate the way Key West has done, and experiential type of immersive experiences for people that are looking for adventure.
And the 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner. Strike called on Bowers. 14 home runs, a double A last year.
Looking for adventure, aren't we? What's a dive trail? Would that be something where you would snorkel or get in the water? And
Key West has a passport similar to the Ale Trail that we have, and the goal is to get the passport punched every time you dive a different wreck, going out with the different dive operators. We have several reefs off Lee County. What we don't have a lot of is dedicated operators that are willing to take you out to them, because some of them are, like the Mohawk is a retired Coast Guard vessel that's sunk, and it's about 30 miles offshore, so it's almost an hour to get there. But once you're there, it's just a fantastic experience to dive on an old Coast Guard cutter. It's
what depths are we talking about diving here?
The Mohawk is about 70 feet down. The top of it is only 40, though, so it's really not that deep of a dive.
2 balls and 1 strike on Jake Bowers. 2 outs. Game tied at 3. Swing and a miss. Bottom fell off of that offer there from Shagwell. 2-2. In fact, the pitch was fouled into the glove of Castro, hung onto it.
Can we put that on our bucket list?
I'd love to. I've never done that before.
Obviously, we'd have to be certified before we'd go down there, but I've done a lot of snorkeling and stuff like that, but Never put the tanks on.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Chatting with Nancy McPhee from Lee County in the 3rd inning. And Jaguars 2-2 inside, raising the arms of Bowers. And now a full count 3-2 for families that are still going to make their way down here. They want to avoid the chaos of spring break. That's also nice about this down here. There's not just one defined area to go.
Right. Exactly. We have a lot of different opportunities. Another one of our great festivals coming up, June 20th, is National Seashell Day. We are the designated spot to go shelling out on Sanibel Island. So we look forward to families, once the kids get out of school, coming down to visit us and do some shelling and celebrate National Seashell Day.
Now, Danny was the other night downtown Fort Myers. There was a big bike rally down there. And the Shrimp Festival's got to be around the corner, right?
It just happened.
Just happened? Okay.
Yeah. Tarpon season's coming up, so that's the next hot season. End of April and May. There's a couple tarpon tournaments, and that is the ultimate game fish.
The tarpon are biting right now.
Yep.
We've got somebody that's already caught a couple of them.
Yep. Lee County became known as a tourism destination. Tarpon fishing.
Fly ball into right near the line. To his left, chasing his Shuck. Won't get it. Base hit. Bowers digging for second base. Here's the throw cut off by Gonzalez. It's a double. As he pulled it down the right field line. Shuck to his left, a full sprint, but could not grab it. And this 3rd inning continues as Bowers doubles in a 3-3 game. And here comes Steven Souza Jr.
Nancy, were you born down here, or did something attract you to come down here that you liked and you had to stay?
I actually am a Jersey girl. I followed my husband down here, but I wouldn't go back. It's beautiful. I've been here 27 years.
The last time you experienced snow was when?
It was in February. I took the Shalove Bug, which is a shell-covered car we use to promote National Seashell Day, to Boston in February, and I got stuck there in the middle of that snowstorm they had. So
2 outs, and here is Souza. He had a line drive rocket that was caught by Danny Santana at 3rd, his first time up. Bowers at second base. Shagwa ready from the stretch. And here's the pitch, slider missing down low. Ball 1. There's always some new delicacies to try down here. Seafood obviously is the favorite choice.
Absolutely.
Stone crab season, still time left?
A little bit, a little bit of time. Shrimping has been good. Lionfish has become a delicacy. It's a trash fish, so we're happy to see the divers grab it and bring it in, and chefs cook it up for us.
Pitch is fouled back. That'll find the fans behind home plate.
What do you call that, a lion?
Lionfish.
Okay.
It's an invasive species. Actually poisonous if you don't know how to handle it. Has barbs on it, but they are good eating, and a lot of programs throughout coastal communities of Florida to eradicate them because they eat up native fish.
What about the hogfish? Is that in season right now?
Hogfish is good. I'm not sure if it's in season. It is a good eating fish, though. Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike on Steven Souza Jr. Says here the media guide his favorite fish of choice is salmon. Just made that up, but we'll go with it.
One of our another big things that's going to happen is a coast-to-coast bike trail throughout the state of Florida, and Lee County is going to get their piece of that very soon within the next 3 years. So we have 90 miles of biking trails in Cape Coral and 25 on Sanibel. So we're a good biking destination as well.
Sue's upset. That was a called strike, and he is having some words right now with the home plate umpire, even though the pitch was dropped by Castro. It's a strike, and now it's 1-2 on an upset Souza.
He's upset, and of course Castro, we know about his framing, and I think that was going to go on the plus side right there.
Game tied 3-3. Bowers at second base. Let's see if Shagwa can strike out the side here. Ahead of Souza, 1-2. JT glanced back towards second, now turns home, and here comes the 1-2 pitch, slider low. And now it's even 2-2. Have you been up to Minneapolis? Have you been to the Twin Cities before? Target Field?
I have,
like
yes. I have been up there for business, and we are sending the Shalove Bug, the shell-covered car, to Target Field on May 7th. So I hope all your fans are there to see and meet the 28,000 shells that are on this little VW Bug.
Danny's got to drive that thing.
Yep.
Danny, you got to get behind the wheel and drive.
I want to be able to bring it in. How about run it on the warning track?
Perfect. Well, let's make that happen, right?
It'll
actually be here at Twin Stadium here, CenturyLink, on March 24th.
All right, we'll be here.
But it will also be at Target Field on May 7th.
So 2-2 the count on Souza in the third, and the pitch, fastball. Ooh, just missed the outside corner, and JT wanted that, so did Castro. And now it's full 3-2. 95 at a fastball. That was awfully close. We look at the replay, and maybe just a titch off the outside corner. Souza got the call this time. Full up, 3-2. Rays scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Twins got all 3 back, and a Goodrum home run in the second. And the 3-2 pitch fouled back. It was a fastball. 95 on the radar gun. What's your favorite water sport to do, Nancy?
I'm a kayaker. I created the Great Coosa Blueway, 190-mile paddling trail here in Lee County. So I prefer paddle sport just because it gives me the exercise that I don't get on a regular basis.
The 3-2 foul back. Can you do stand-up paddleboarding on that as well?
I can. I fell a few times in the beginning, but it's very fun, and it's a great workout for your core.
Because the water's not all that rough, right?
Nope.
So it's more of
it's
a
not
calm.
rough, and it's not very deep in most spots, in the back bay anyway.
Is there ample parking if you want to do that? If you want to go down and do some stand-up paddleboarding,
Yes.
you can do that?
Any of our beach park facilities, sure. And there's lots of outfitters that rent as well.
Still full on Souza, 3-2 in the third inning. And here it comes, and it hit him. Up and inside, and Souza, kind of a frustrated at bat for the 27-year-old outfielder. He slams down the elbow guard as he's grabbing at his left side as he will walk up slowly the first base line. And he's going to be looked at here by a member of the Rays certified athletic training staff, and Kevin Cash, the manager of the Rays, is also going to check, and that got him around the ribs. Up and inside.
Boy, Castro got it too, also on the inner thigh there when that ball deflected.
Yeah, right now Souza trying to stretch out that left side of his body, nodding his head up and down a little bit, and he's going to stay in this game. That'll sting. So 2 on, 2 out. Game tied 3-3. And here is Casey Gillespie, one of the top prospects in the Rays system. His brother Connor Gillespie, a hero last postseason with the Giants, that dramatic home run in the wild card game against the Mets off Jerry's Familia. And Gillespie ticketed likely for AAA. He plays first base, DHing today. Another guy that will likely be on his team is at second base right now, and Jake Bowers. So here is Shagwa from the stretch, and the pitch, swing and a miss, fastball. 0-1 by Casey Gillespie. Still joined in the booth here by Nancy McPhee from Lee County, program manager from the Visitors Convention Bureau. And the 0-1, strike 2. Overall, not just the Twins, but the Red Sox down the street, the impact that baseball has in this community, how could you define it? How can one define it?
I think it's significant. I think that we're very lucky. There's not a lot of communities that are lucky enough to have 2 teams, and our extension into off-season with all of the amateur sport teams that come in is really significant for us.
Ground ball to short, routine. Adrianza throws out Gillespie. Inning is over. With that, we enter conversation with Nancy McPhee. Nancy, all the best to you and your group here this season.
Thanks.
We thank Nancy McPhee for her time. The Rays don't score. They strand 2 after 2.5. Game tied 3-3 on your home for Twins baseball. Twins and the Rays all tied 3-3. Bottom third set to commence. Second time through, Zach Granite, J.B. Shuck, and then Joe Mauer. Still Jose De Leon pitching today for the Rays. Granite struck out his first time as De Leon goes off speed. It's a strike called on Zach. 0-1. Now joining us from the Twins dugout, the man who started today, his first start down here, 6th appearance overall, now complete. We welcome Justin Haley to the broadcast as the pitch to Granite's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Justin, Corey, Danny upstairs. How you doing?
Great. How you guys doing?
We're doing fine. Thank you for joining us. And so far, how are things going for you, numbers aside, down here trying to win a job?
You know, they're going well. It's a process. I'm learning a lot, talking to a lot of guys, just trying to listen and take it all in, and, you know, hopefully it works out.
You know, one of the guys I'm wondering if you've leaned on is Ryan Presley. He was with the Red Sox, came here a couple years ago, Rule 5, and you're kind of in that same boat. Tap to the right side. This may be tough. Franklin charging, gloving on the run, and he just gets Granite by a step. Well, Zach can really run. You hear Tony Oliva screaming replay, replay, but no replay here during spring training, but still Tony O cheering from the dugout anyway. A close play, but Granite, he is just out, and there is out number 1. But am I right, Justin? Has Presley been a guy you've been leaning on?
Yeah, I've definitely been talking to Press. You know, we do a lot together as the pitching core, and you know, me being a reliever, working out with a lot of the relievers. I mean, you know, I bend his ear whenever I get the chance. BP, stretch, anytime.
And Shuck batting, knee-high strike called. You mentioned you've been working with the relievers, but you still have the mindset that I have a chance to be a starter now with what's already transpired here the last couple of days?
You know, I really just want to pitch. You know, I really want to be here. I want to contribute to the Twins, you know, at the major league level. So whatever helps me and helps them to keep me there, you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm really not going to limit myself.
No balls and 2 strikes on J.B. Shuck, who popped out his first time. Game tied at 3 in the 3rd inning. With Mauer on deck, De Leon off the first base side from the windup, and here it comes. Line to right field, shallow, charging Souza, and leaves his feet, makes a diving catch. And there is out number 2.
Justin, Danny Gladden here, a teammate of mine, pitching coach for the Boston Red Sox, Paul Abbott. As a player kind of advances up through the levels, they take a little bit of something from each one of their coaches. You share with what maybe Paul Abbott has kind of taught you?
I was with Abby for about 2 years under him, and gosh, he taught me everything. He was the first pitching coach I came to when I was with the Red Sox, and he taught me my changeup, actually, which is developed into a really good pitch for me. You know, he taught me a lot of just kind of slow the game down, take what it gives you, and just enjoy the journey.
Here's Mauer batting, strike call, the fastball on Joe. Game tied 3-3, bottom third, chatting with Justin Haley.
Advance forward now to new pitching coach Neil Allen. What are you learning from him, and maybe even in Eddie Guardado?
You know, I'm learning a lot from both of them. I'm coming over here just, you know, listening to everything they have to say. They got a lot of experience between the two of them, and you know, there's a lot of great things to learn. You know, Neil keeps it pretty loose, and so does Eddie in the bullpen, and you know, we're just having fun, trying to enjoy every minute and really make the most out of the opportunity.
De Leon kind of stumbled after releasing that last pitch. It was low, 2 balls and a strike. This offseason, Justin, I read that you pitched in the Dominican. Why the need for that, and what did you take away from that experience?
Well, you know, I felt like I needed a little something between the end of last season and the start of this season. You know, I really just wanted to hone in some of my stuff and just kind of continue on success that I had towards the end of last season. You know, and I had a great time down there. I really enjoyed it. I had some success. Met a lot of great people. Got to play with a lot of good players and against a lot of good players. And you know, I think I showed that my stuff plays on a lot of different levels.
I'd say you had success. What, 2-0, an ERA of .38, 14 strikeouts, and 23 2/3 innings in a very competitive league.
Yeah, it was. It was a good league, a lot of good hitters. You know, very competitive baseball. They love baseball, and you know, I thought that was the place for me to be.
Now, the Rule 5 process, as Mauer pulled one foul, it wasn't just clear-cut that you were coming here, right? There was another team involved after the Rule 5 draft?
Yeah, there was. You know, waking up that morning early for the draft and got the call that I was drafted by the Angels, you know, and that was great for about 30 minutes, and then they traded me to the Padres, and that was awesome for about 20 minutes, and then they sent me over here to the Twins, and, you know, and that was even better because I'm coming back to Fort Myers Myers, where I'm comfortable, been for the last 5 years, and my routine didn't really change much.
Pitches outside, ball 3. I did read though that for a brief moment you thought, okay, doing spring training in Arizona might be cool. You're from California, so that might be just a different experience.
Yeah, exactly. It was, close to home. Just something new, something different. Clean slate, and then, lo and behold, right back here in the fort, enjoying the Florida weather.
Game tied at 3. Joe Mauer still batting, 3-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Justin Haley started today. His first start, his 6th appearance overall here in the Grapefruit League. De Leon off the first base side, brings the ball over his cap. And the 3-2 Mauer slicing fly ball to left. Peterson in, now back. He'll squeeze it to end the inning. And with that, the Twins go down in order. Hey, Justin, thanks for the time and all the best here in the coming weeks.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right, Justin Haley, we thank him for his time. It's a 1-2-3 3rd after 3. Game tied at 3 on your home for Twins baseball. This portion of Twins baseball is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. See your local Chevy dealer or log on to ChevyDealer.com. Here today after 3, all tied up 3-3. Twins make a pitching change as the Rays bat in the top half of the 4th inning. And for more on that and for the next 3, the 2-time World Series champion, Danny Gladden.
Well, thank you, Corey. Good afternoon, everybody. It is going to be right-hander Alex Wimmers. Nice outing there for Shagwa. 1 inning, gave up a hit, did hit a batter and a couple of strikeouts. So he'll be facing Nick Franklin as Wimmers rocks and delivers, and first pitch swing, and he laces it right back up the middle. So a leadoff single for the Rays, tied up 3-3. Sucre will bat. Before he does, we'll pause 10 seconds, allow our stations to identify themselves. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Sucre bats, runner at first base. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. 3-run homer by the Twins, Nico Goodrum, tied the ball game up in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Wimmers quick throw over to Franklin, can run a little bit at second base. Franklin was in 60 ball games with the Rays. It ended up hitting 6 home runs, 26 driven in, 270 batting average. Wimmers last year, say we got a cup of coffee in the big leagues, was in 16 ball games. Delivers way outside, ball 1. Castro had to reach to his right, prevent that from going to the backstop. Had a record of 1-3, 4.15 ERA. Had 14 strikeouts, also walked 11 and 17 in the 3rd innings. Wimmers A first-round draft pick back in 2010. Runner goes, swung on and missed. Throw by Castro, and it's going to be not in time. Short hopped the second baseman in Gonzalez. So Franklin reaches on a stolen base. Well, that's what you want to see from Castro. You want to see that catch and throw by a catcher, and you've got Franklin, pretty good base runner. And Wimmer's pretty quick to the plate. Haley, solid 2 innings, started the ball game today, and he mostly out of the bullpen guys now. Wimmers checks the runner, delivers up and in, look out. And Wimmers has had problems with control in the past, but really kind of had a breakout year for Wimmers in 2015. Chattanooga went 8-4, had 18 starts. He was in 30 ball games, and that's kind of when he went to the bullpen. He found something there. And a righty delivers, swung on, hit to right field, shallow right. Shuck coming on, he'll be there. He'll field it. Franklin's going to tag up and try to run, and the throw into third, not in time. Boy, it looked like it caromed off the back jersey of Franklin. And Danny Santana, and Franklin's kind of walking around, might have twisted an ankle there, but he's going to be safe at third base. Aggressive base running by the Rays. A good play. That's a tough play for a third baseman, and that ball's coming in. It's going to one hop, and all of a sudden you lose it a little bit as it hits the ground because of the base runner. Twins now will play the infield back. Shane Peterson bats.
Haven't seen Danny Santana play too much third at the big league level. But if he's going to be on this team again this year, he is going to be a utility player, if not a super utility, Danny, playing infield and outfield.
And a pitch, a high strike call to Peterson. I think we're seeing it now. We've seen him at second base. We've seen him at short, seen him in the outfield. And yes, and talking to Danny Santana, probably the first week of camp, all of his drills, everything he was doing was the outfield. And then was approached to start taking some ground balls, which he did. But Danny, yes, if you can play shortstop, I don't see why you cannot go over and play some third base or some second base. Count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Twins will concede the run for an out. Franklin at third, swung on a miss. Good off speed pitch there by Wimmers, and that's been Wimmers' pitch to go to that good changeup. And now with 2 strikes, Paul Mahler's asking the infield to come in. Wimmers out of the stretch, gets the sign from Castro, setting up inside, and it's popped up. Left side of the diamond, Santana out, shortstop now on the grass, and Adrianza calls for it, puts it away. So good job there by Wimmers. So it'll be up to Patrick Leonard. Well, that's part of the evaluation process, is you want these guys to an extent kind of get in some jams and then be able to pitch out of those jams. We saw it yesterday with Craig Breslow. Pitched in a big jam. He had second and third, nobody out, and got out of it, no damage. As Wimmers delivers a little off-speed pitch down and away, ball 1. And that's what some of the coaches are looking for, to be able to make some of those tough decisions on guys that, are they going to be on the team, or are they on that bubble, to be able to kind of control yourself. And we talked to Breslow after the in-between innings about that. Swung on a miss, good changeup, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Breslow said his last 2 outings he's pitched himself in some trouble, but at the same time he's been able to pitch out of those jams. Wimmers trying to get the third out here in the top of the 4th, 3-3 tie. Swung on a miss, chased 1 up in the zone, 1 strike away now. Tampa out hitting Minnesota. They have 5 hits, Twins just 2 hits, one of them a 3-run homer. Wimmer's at the belt, delivers. Nice block there by Castro. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scheduled day off tomorrow, so Paul Mahler kind of sending out some of the younger players. And the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 looking, boy, nice pitch there by Wimmer's got good fastball. Down and in, so leadoff single, stolen base, strands him at third base. After 3.5, still knotted up 3-3 on your home for Twins baseball. Pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays, 6'3", 215 pounds. Last year just in 5 ball games with the Tampa Bay Rays. 2015 was with the Yankees. 4 ball games with them. So here he comes on here. Outing by De Leon, not bad. He goes 3 innings here this afternoon, and this is the part of spring where you're going to start seeing the starters maybe be stretched out a little bit longer. We saw it with Phil Hughes yesterday, solid 5 innings. Before that, Kyle Gibson, 5 innings. Irvin Santana going to join the Dominican team, pitch tomorrow against Puerto Rico, as Robbie Grossman takes the first pitch on the outside corner. There's a strike. So hopefully you're going to see these guys, and yes, spring training a little bit longer this year, and I think that's why you didn't see a lot of the Dozier Mowers getting a lot of playing time early. And quickly strike 2 to Robbie Grossman. He singled back in the 2nd inning. So De Leon just gives up 2 hits, 3 runs. And that ball skied into right center field. Playable Smith out there. Still drifting back and now reaches up in front of the warning track, puts it away. So Robbie flies out to start the bottom half of the 4th inning.
That is the catcher, Jason Castro.
Here's Jason Castro. The thing I'm noticing about Castro with his at-bats, he doesn't give too many of them away. Seems to kind of grind those at-bats out, makes that pitcher really work. Takes a lot of pitches. Good understanding of the strike zone. One of the few acquisitions in the offseason, signed a 3-year contract. Going to get most of the playing time behind the plate. Left-handed hitter. As Whitley delivers, breaking ball, kicks away. Nico Goodrum in the on-deck circle. Kind of a small, quiet crowd here this afternoon. Righty delivers, swung on and missed. Good little slider down around the ankles. 1 ball, 1 strike. Noticing some of the attendance numbers here. The Twins last in attendance down here in spring training. Little jam shot off the glove of Whitley. He's going to track it down, has time, and comes up and throws out Castro at first base. No panic there by the pitcher. So with 2 down, bases empty, Nico Goodrum, big 3-run homer. Playing in his 10th ball game. He's 4 for 10. And the Rays are going to incorporate the shift on Goodrum. We've seen that a lot down here in spring training. The Rays are a club that incorporates that overshift a lot, even in spring training. And Goodrum shows bunt and pulls it back. Nobody down there at third base. Well, to break that shift, I think you got to start bunting a little bit more. And right back, hit into left field, hit fairly well, but right there to the left fielder and Peterson. So 3 up, 3 down for Chase Whitley. 4 in the books, and we're knotted up 3-3 on your home for Twins baseball. Tie as we start the top half of the 5th inning. Also, top part of the order. Malik Smith will lead off, Tim Beckham, and then Jake Bauers. Malik Smith had a base hit first time up. Advanced to second on an error charged to Goodwin on a pickoff throw. Runner advanced to second, then moved to third on a fly out. Scored on a sac fly by Bauers. Led 1-0. Wimmer's back out for a second inning of relief. Delivers inside, ball 1. Smith, good speed. Center fielder for the Rays. Pops this one up. Danny Santana going to give chase on the warning track near the railing and runs out of room. The Tampa Bay Rays, pretty impressive number, and they've gone 390 consecutive starts by a pitcher under the age of 30 years. So we always talk about Tampa and their good pitching staff. They always seem to have some good young arms. So they're in the youth movement right now, not trying to get these veterans in here. Pitched down and around the ankles, ball 2. And we saw a good one today start for the Rays. Jose De Leon, 3 innings. Trade from the Dodgers. Wimmer's 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Wimmer's last year, we said he came up 16 ball games, and I was impressed. Had a good changeup, and that was a pitch really kind of worked on a lot in the minor leagues, but gave up 14 hits, but still had some big strikeouts. Pitch up and tight. And Wimmer's, when he first signed, he had big time trouble with his command. Facing Smith, 3 balls, 2 strikes. As for the changeup here, 3-2, and there it is. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Boy, Smith can't believe it. And I'm beginning to like Castro more and more with his pitch framing. A little ball way outside, and got the call by the home plate umpire. And here's Beckham. Beckham, again, might have a chance to be the opening day shortstop for Tampa. Former #1 draft pick for the Tampa Bay Rays. Alex delivers, fouled straight back. Beckham, early in his career, had a serious knee injury in a pickup basketball game and was sidelined. He has really filled into that body. He was a thin, skinny kid that can run. Hit down the left field line. Going to be a tough play by Robbie Grossman, and he's going to roll over, pick it up on the warning track, and it's going to be a 1-out double. So Beckham in scoring position of a 3-3 tie.
The first baseman, Jay Bowers.
And here's Bowers to bat. Bowers, good power. Sac fly RBI, hit a double down the right field line. His second time up. Hey, don't plan out the season, flex it. With the flex plan, you receive 20 tickets that can be used for any game you wish. And you can also choose the ball games in advance or right up before the first pitch. Flex plan members also going to enjoy all the benefits of a season ticket holder. To learn more, just visit twinsbaseball.com/flex. Beckham can run a little bit. Short lead at second. Ball in the dirt. Nice block there by Castro, keeping it in front of him.
Well, some news here today. We learned just before the game, first round of cuts were announced. Just before game time today, the Twins are down to 58 players now in camp. The 4 cuts, all involving pitchers. Mason Melitakis was optioned to AAA. Fernando Romero, AA. Aaron Slegers and Steven Gonsalves were both reassigned to minor league camp, meaning those 2 players not on the 40-man compared to Melitakis and Romero.
Pitch inside, dances out of the way, and correct me I'm wrong here, all starters.
Melitakis is not. He is coming back, and Slegers has been a starter. Melitakis, though, coming off the Tommy John surgery. And, you know, he was a guy that we never really saw down here. He suffered an oblique injury earlier in camp and never got a chance to see him really work in a game.
You know, and it's tough to get innings in up here with all these guys. As Bowers grounds out to the first baseman, he'll pick it up. Goodwin step on the bag. Runner does advance to third base. We always talk about it. The game plan for the guys that are up here right now. Get the experience being in a big league clubhouse around big league players. But also important to get down there with your respective clubs and start getting stretched out for whatever role you're going to have with that club. And if you're a starter, yes, they need to get them down there and get them stretched out.
And games beginning now this week here. It's not just camp has opened up, but the minor league games begin.
Yeah, but you think, what, we got 58 players now in camp, and don't think that down there at AAA, AA, A-ball, that they don't have a ton of bodies in uniform there as well. So it'll be up to Souza Jr. He was hit by a pitch by Shagwa. Big swing and a miss on a high fastball. Glad to see Souza staying in the ball game, and just kind of took it right in the ribs at about 94. And it caught him flush. Runner at third. 3-3 tie. We're in the top of the 5th. Tapper foul off the foot. Good change up. So Souza in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. little bit of a breeze here today going out to left center field, Very comfortable here this afternoon. 0-2. Fly ball, shallow right. And a long run now still drifting, and that ball's going to land on the warning track out there in right center field. So Souza getting it up in the jet stream a little bit. And gets a double and drives in the go-ahead run now 4-3. I thought that ball was going to be just in the back pocket. Good power. And he was fooled out in front. Granted, no Shuck could get there in time. So a double RBI. And here's Casey Gillespie. I was watching the Rays, and we talked about they're leading the Grapefruit League in home runs, coming in 22. They hit one already today, but they had some guys taking batting practice today, and all they did was hit home runs. And if you were out on the berm here today, you got a ton of souvenir balls. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Yeah, that's part of the excitement coming down here. Grapefruit League action. Had a group last night that I talked to over at Shoeless Joe's. Yeah, a big swing and a miss in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. And I was surprised how many autographs they had. And that's one thing about when you come down here to spring training, you're so close to these players. And Joe Mauer yesterday was signing a ton of autographs. And of course, get some autographs and some souvenirs. 0-2 pitch. Change up in the dirt.
Yeah, it's the best time, don't you think so, for fans who are looking for that, Danny, to get that autograph, to get a picture. Spring training is by far the best. You know,
and the young fans, you know, that come down here spring break, mother and father bring them down, maybe take them out of school for a little bit, to be able to kind of walk around and actually see these players, you know, so close, and you can hear them taking instructions from the coach and going through drills that normally during the course of the season you're not going to see. Checks the runner and delivers. And this one's popped up. This one's shallow right. Second baseman out is Gonzalez, and it's going to be Gonzalez calling and catching. The Rays will pick up 1 run on a couple of doubles, and after 4.5, new score. Rays 4, Twins 3 on your home for Twins baseball. Three Rays over the Minnesota Twins. Chase Whitley back out for a second inning of relief. He'll be facing bottom third of the order. It'll be Danny Santana, Benji Gonzalez, Adrianza. As Whitley, the righty, as Santana shows bunt, he stabbed at it, came up empty. It's also part of Danny Santana's game. Using that speed. Sporting a long beard this year. And line down the right field line. That's going to be just fair. That's going to be extra bases, and Santana can run a little bit around into second base. He's going to be waved into third. And Franklin has no chance throwing out Danny Santana, so a leadoff triple. Start the bottom half of the 5th inning. Still one of the more exciting plays in baseball, that triple. Boy, Danny got bat head out. Good turn around first base. And elected to go ahead and get his uniform dirty. No throw to third base, but hey, I'm going to make it look like I've been playing hard. And he's in at third base. Infield's going to play back. It'll be up to Gonzalez. Struck out looking his first time up. Put the ball in play, hit it on the ground somewhere, tie it up. Curve in there for a strike. Benji Gonzalez, he's been in 10 ball games, having a pretty good spring, 6 for 15. Does have an RBI. Willie out of the stretch. There's a line drive, base hit right center field. That could be for extra bases. Gonzalez can run. He's going to try it. Sucre's throw into second base, not in time. Or Souza, I'm sorry, out in right field. So back-to-back extra base hits. So the Twins have tied it up here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 4-4. And Adrianza will bat. He flew out weakly to left field his first time up.
Shortstop, Eddie Adrianza.
Adrianza getting a start at shortstop today. Former San Francisco Gigante. He's out of options, and he's going to have to make this club. Or if they try to send him down, another club can maybe pick him up. And he shows Button. It's a good one. Whitley's going to barehand it. Steps, throws, not in time. So heads up baseball right here by the Twins. So now first and third, nobody out on the bunt base hit. Good location of that down the third baseline. And Adrianza runs well. So now it'll be up top of the order. Zach Granite, he's 0 for 2 today. Granite 5 for 22 this spring. Does have one extra base hit. Couple of RBIs. Here's a guy also that runs well. Maybe he's bunting. Twins have tied it up 4-4. First and third, nobody out. And a pitch swung on and lifted in the shallow left center. Should be deep enough. Smith coming in, the center fielder, is going to call and catch. He's going to throw to the plate, and it's going to be cut off. Throw back down to second, not in time. So the Twins now lead 5-4. Good hustle play there by the runner at first base, Adrianza. And he saw that ball come in from Smith. No chance to throw him out at home. And first baseman had to cut it off. He cuts it and then goes to second, but no chance to get Adrianza.
Go back here talking some strategy. Who calls for the cut in that situation? As the ball was coming in, who decides to let that infielder know, hey, catch it and go to second base?
The catcher is usually the eyes of the cutoff man, but in that case there, I think that he realized there was a lot of air underneath that ball, so sometimes you can take it upon yourself to cut it, but that's an easy play for everybody to recognize. But it's the catcher's call, and it's usually verbiage of a, cut 2 or cut 3. Or you can just say, hey, cut, hold. And some teams don't like to. They just like to use the word cut. Runner at second, 1 out, 2 in. And a bunt by Shuck, and it's in there for a strike. JB, I'm not sure with 1 out. Here's where you don't want to bunt. You want to drive that run in. And JB trying to make this ball club as an extra outfielder, non-roster in camp. JB, he is 3 for 21, has 3 RBIs, 1 extra base hit. Needs to pick up a run here. And this one's popped up out in front of that, and it's in front of the pitcher's mound. And now here comes the first baseman on to call everybody off, and he does. So Shuck pops out. The batter is going to be Joe Mauer. And Kevin Cash will pop out of the dugout. He's got a left-hander, I believe, in the bullpen, and that's who he's going to go to. The lefty-lefty matchup with Joe Mauer. So we have a break in the action, 2 runs in. We'll be back. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Marks coming on for Tampa Bay, 3 levels last year, Charlotte, Durham, and in the big leagues. Had 4 games in the big leagues last year. 9 innings, gave up 7 hits, 1 run. Had 9 walks in 9 innings and 8 strikeouts. Big, tall left-hander. Got him listed at 6'3", 200 pounds from Kentucky. And he'll come on, and here's where you want certain situations, and I think that's why Kevin Cash, the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, going to the left-hander. It's a matchup that I think that he would probably see during the course of the season. And Mauer, don't know the numbers, but I understand he did not face left-handers very good last year, or hit left-handers very good last year.
And nowhere near his career numbers. Joe just 224 against lefties. We're talking about a career 290 hitter against left-handed pitching. So a down year for Joe against lefties. We'll see how he fares in this season and in this moment right now facing Marks.
Well, you got a switch hitter in Robbie Grossman, and I don't think, here's a situation, lefty-lefty on matchup. When you hand the ball, as the manager did to Marks, I don't think you're saying to him, pitch around this guy. I think you're trying to see what he can do against a good left-handed hitter in Joe Mauer. Adrianza, the runner at second, 2 in. And a breaking ball missed down and away. Twins leading 5-4. Tampa still out hitting Minnesota 7-5. Good lead by the runner at second, Adrianza. And a pitch to Mauer. Curveball missed inside. So here's a count, 2 balls and no strikes, lefty on lefty. He's thrown him 2 breaking balls, so here Joe has a chance to kind of see a fastball and turn on it. Two balls, no strikes. Mauer bats, 2 down. And a pitch, a fastball throw down to second base, not in time. Got a fastball, but I believe that the catcher, Sucre, he kind of popped up. They had that pick play on, cheated a little bit, might have taken away the sight line for the home plate umpire. He called that a ball, so 3 balls and no strikes. And right down Broadway, there's a strike. Those are the things you work on also in spring training. 3 balls and no strikes. We saw it with Miguel Sano. Hit a big home run. 3 balls and no strikes. So usually what you see 3-0 is what you're going to get 3-1. And a pitch fouled back. Good cut. Came after him with a fastball at 90. Howard taps home plate with that bat. A few practice swings as he looks out to the left-handed pitcher Justin Marks, and the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Adrianza will score easily. Mauer with a 2-out knock up the middle. So the last year numbers put him away. Mauer picks up a big RBI. And that'll keep the inning going. Here's Robbie Grossman to bat.
It's going to be fascinating here, Danny, the last few weeks about how this lineup plays out. Not so much the names, but where they're slotted.
Yes.
And it's going to go back and forth.
Strike call to Robbie.
Well, will there be one defined lineup against a righty or one defined against a lefty? Or this is going to be fascinating to see play out here.
Yeah, but don't forget, we talked about it with Kepler. You see a tough left-hander. You got Kepler, Rosario, two left-handers. They may get some time on the bench against guys like that, and then therefore that's going to change where you kind of slot in some of the bench players. But I think if you kind of go with that set lineup, and I would believe Kepler and Rosario are going to play every day against left-handers start the season. 0-2 pitch, tap foul.
And the Twins will likely see a lefty on opening day in Danny Duffy.
And I got to imagine that Rosario and Kepler are going to be in the lineup. Those are your guys.
Mauer.
Pitch up on highway. Well, Mauer's going to play. You're not going to, I don't care how tough the lefty is. You know, sometimes I thought maybe at times Joe would get a rest against a big tough left-hander. But kind of a lost season for a lot of people last year. And a pitch to Grossman, fouled off, fisted. Robbie having a good spring. He has one hit, 2 trips to the plate. .320 average. He's driven in 3, 4 extra base hits. Haven't seen the power yet he displayed last year. Little nubber off the end of the bat, fielded by the pitcher. He'll step throw and retires Robbie Grossman. Twins will pick up 3 runs on 4 hits, and they leave one new score after 5. It's the Twins 6, Tampa Bay Rays 4 on your home for Twins baseball. Minnesota will be right-hander Michael Tonkin. Tonkin making his 7th appearance. He's logged 4 innings, giving up 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He has walked 4 strikeouts. So Tonkin, big arm, and he'll be facing Nick Franklin in the first pitch, up and away, ball 1. Tonkin, high velocity guy, and he's kind of really elevated his game a little bit out of the bullpen, and not so much in some big roles, but more kind of bridging kind of the 5th, 6th inning to get to some of the back end guys in the bullpen. Ground ball crisply hit foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Haig, new first baseman for the Twins. Mitch Garver, the new catcher for Minnesota. Tommy Field is the new third baseman. And Nico Goodrum, who was at first base, is now out in left field. So he's playing that super utility role as well. And Tonkin's 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball low. Twins got 3 in the second. 3-run homer off the bat of Nico Goodrum, and then got 3 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Mauer with a 2-out base hit. Sac fly RBI by Granite. And Franklin peels this one straight back. RBI double by Benji Gonzalez.
Some guy named Franklin that's for the Devil Rays. I don't know, his name is Franklin. See, watch a pitch, Dan. Watch a pitch. Hold on.
Well, this Tampa Bay Ray ball club going to be anchored down by, I think, a pretty good staff. And a pitch high, ball 2, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it starts with Chris Archer, and you look at his numbers, 19-game loser last year. But he was on a poor ball club in the Rays, 69 and 94 last year. They were 25 back in their division. There's a line drive. That's going to land for a base hit. Daniel Palka out in right field, so a leadoff single. That's a 3-hit day for Nick Franklin.
And Franklin stole a base in the 4th inning, and that's been an issue for Michael Tonkin. We'll see if he's moving here in this 2-run game in the 6th, challenging Tonkin and also Garver behind the plate now.
I think normally during the course of the season, the Tampa Bay Rays are kind of, at one point, this team was filled with speed. And I think they're trying to get back with that also, with guys that can run. Franklin can run a little bit, so here in the top of the 6th, I would think that running game still applies. Foul straight back. Good cut there by Sucre.
Dan, you mentioned Tampa Bay won 68 games last year. They hit a ton of home runs, but that was it. They were still near the bottom in so many key offensive categories. But their starting staff, they were healthy to begin the year and just did not pitch well. Then when the starting pitching improved, injuries mounted, and a poor second half really for Tampa Bay.
And a breaking ball outside. Yeah, their bullpen was horrendous. Their relievers the last 2 years, 2015, 2016, their bullpen has led the league in losses.
They had a stretch in and around the All-Star break where they lost 19 of 22, and before that they were right around 500. And then after that tailspin, things went south for good.
Pitch inside, had to dance out of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike, and also poor attendance. They have been last in attendance the last 5 years, so tough for players to kind of come to the ballpark and play under kind of those conditions a little bit, but you got to find a way. They've really done good things with inside that ballpark and fixing it up a little bit, but still it's dead in there. Other than when the Yankees, wow, that went to the backstop. So Tonkin, boy, uncorks a wild pitch. And Tonkin, he's battling for a spot on this team. Said it, good velocity, 95, 96, but command has been the key for Michael Tonkin.
And like Robbie Grossman, Danny Santana, Eddie Adrianza, Michael Tonkin, no options remaining.
Well, wasn't he out of options last year too? And he made the ball club, I think, out of that same scenario. Lifted down the left field line, might be playable for Goodrum now on the foul line, and he's going to put that away. No chance for Franklin to tag up. So good pitch there, flying out to left field, and now it's going to be up to Shane Peterson.
The left fielder, Shane Peterson.
So with one out, runner at second base, 6-4 Minnesota. As Tonkin delivers low ball one. Tonkin will check the runner, slowing the pace down just a little bit here. And delivers a high strike call, evens it up 1 ball 1 strike. That's also been kind of a sticking point with the pitching coach, and the tempo. You always kind of want to get the game flowing here, and sometimes when the guys come out of the bullpen, it will slow down a little bit. We always talk about it when they take time. Pitch inside, almost hit him, and now 2 balls and a strike. The infielders, outfielders have a tendency to sit back on their heels. So Peterson bats with a runner at second base, 1 out. Short lead by Franklin at second, and Tonkin delivers. Down and away. All fastballs so far by Michael Tonkin. Righty sets, delivers, swung on and peeled straight back. Tonkin is 27 years of age. Was in 65 ball games, ERA over 5 last year, 71 2/3 innings. But boy, if you look at all the guys that pitched for the Twins last year out of the bullpen, they were up there in innings. And Tonkin, one of them, gave up 80 hits. Did have 80 strikeouts, so it's there. And there's a walk. Does set up the ground ball double play. That's the first walk for the Rays here this afternoon. Does set up the ground ball double play. I believe Hager now is the batter. Jake Hager. Let's see if the Twins get something on the ground. Turn a double play here in the top of the 5th. And a righty delivers. There's a breaking ball, but it missed inside. Twins do not have anybody warming up in the bullpen. It does look like now maybe a body's going to get loose, or some bodies walking around out there. And a pitch. There's a strike. That'll even it up. 1 ball 1 strike. Tonkin on the mound with a count of 1 ball 1 strike. There's strike 2. And foul straight back. Let's pause 10 seconds, allow our stations to identify themselves. You're listening to Twins Baseball. to 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. First and second, 6-4 Minnesota. And swung on a missed. Hager chased a fastball up in his eyes. So big strikeout there for Michael Tonkin. And Grandin Getzman is the batter. Good size, 6'3", 190, right-handed hitter. So he'll bat with 2 down. And Michael delivers. Swung on and peeled right back. Went to the breaking ball there. See if he can pitch ahead of these guys. Make it a little bit easier for him. Big right-hander open stance, leads out over the plate. And holds up on a slider. They're going to see if he went around. He did not. And now 1 ball, 1 strike. So Getzman bats with 2 down, 2 on. And missed outside. Hey, Twins baseball always brought to you by the beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel. Find your island, find your warm white sand beaches, and find the moments that always end too soon. But they're going to become memories forever. All you have to do is visit FortMyersSanibel.com. Tonkin rocks and fires. Swung on it, popped up, should be playable out by the mound. Here comes the first baseman, Haig. Haig calls for it and puts it away. So Tonkin, nice job. Pitches out of a jam, leaves 2 on. We're going to the bottom of the 6th, up 6-4 on your home for Twins baseball. Twins up 6-4. Here comes Mitch Garver. See his first at bat. Lefty Justin Marks still out there for the Tampa Bay Rays. Nico Goodrum, first pitch swinging is Garver, and it's peeled straight back. Was talking with a scout today that's been watching the Twins, and his assignment, scouts organizations kind of scout a little bit differently, but this in particular scout, he had the Twins minor league system all last year. Here's strike 2 called. And he had him from the rookie league all the way up to AAA. And I asked him about Mitch Garver, and he said he's come a long way. And he's felt that his defense has improved. But more importantly, I think he was talking about his offense. And that has really kind of stepped up a little bit Bats here and no balls, 2 strikes. Takes it outside, ball 1. But one thing that he also said is the game calling by Garver. So all in all, I think Garver has made big strides as a catcher. Swung on and missed there. Chases down and away. And here's Nico Goodrum, big 3-run homer back in the 2nd inning. Tied the ball game up 3-3 at the time. And the Twins spring ballpark pass is going to get you into 30 ball games at Target Field this April and May. It's all for just $99. You can have access to every ball game except the home opener. That's 30 games for under $100. As Goodwin fouls this one off down the right field line. This again offer is good until April 4th and only through MLB Park app on your mobile device. $99. You can have access to every game except the home opener. And a breaking ball catches the outside corner. Now quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Recommend you get into that. $100, you get 30 ball games under $100. Check swing, laid off, and now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a pitch, fly ball, hit fairly well to right field. New right fielder out there. He's going to take a different route on it, but he'll track it down. 2 down. And here's Tommy Fields.
Batter is the third baseman, Tommy Fields.
6-4 Minnesota, bottom of the 6th. Tommy Fields showing some power. Good all-around little player. Been in 9 ball games, 4 for 20. Homer, 2 ribbies. Kind of a scrappy player. There's strike 2 call. Justin Marks, he's really settled down. Came on to face Joe Mauer back in the 5th with 2 down, gave up an RBI base hit. And since then, he's retired the next 3. Pitch high and tight on an 0-2 pitch. Field can play anywhere in the infield, and he has played some outfield. Ball to dirt. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the lefty's 2-2 pitch, and got the bottom part. Not a strike called. Shakes off the catcher, and now rocks and fires. Ground ball and hit it short. Fielded cleanly. Long throw in time to get Field. He runs well. 3 up, 3 down. Twins go quietly here in the bottom of the 6th. But the Twins lead 6-4 on your home for Twins baseball. 6-4. Minnesota as we start the top of the 7th. Here's Corey Provis.
Thank you, Danny. Ryan O'Rourke is the new pitcher. Michael Tonkin, a scoreless inning, a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. As O'Rourke has the 7th inning, trying to protect a 2-run lead right now, 6-4 Twins. O'Rourke is on for the 6th time. 4 in the 3rd inning so far. 4 runs allowed by Ryan. 3 of the 4 came in one showing. That was earlier this month. He will see Willie Adames lead off the Tampa Bay 7th. Adames now the shortstop for the Rays. Here's the pitch from O'Rourke, and it misses outside. Ball 1. Some more defensive changes now for the Twins. At shortstop is Leonardo Reginato. Angel Villalma is the new second baseman. And the 1-0 pitch, a swing, a pop fly into right center field, playable. This is Granite to his left, calling and catching at right center field. And Adames is out, number 1. We'll say goodbye to winter in Minnesota and join us down here on the lovely beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel. Experience Florida's most natural beaches and islands at FortMyersSanibel.com. Again, that website, FortMyersSanibel.com. Still time left to join us down here for some Grapefruit League baseball. This is Dalton Kelly batting. Kelly, the new first baseman for the Rays, came in defensively the last half inning. The right fielder, Justin Williams, is on deck. Lefty against lefty. As O'Rourke misses inside, and kind of a frustrated grunt from Ryan after that one missed down and in 2-0. This was Ryan's specialty again last year. So tough on left-handed hitters, but in the second half of the season, Ryan felt he was performing better against righties as well. The 2-0 was bounced foul, and he is really trying to shed that label as not just being a left-handed specialist. O'Rourke certainly in the conversation to be another left-handed arm in the bullpen. Taylor Rogers, impressive during his rookie season. You have to think he's not a lock, but really solidified himself in the spot in the bullpen to start the year. 2-2 now on Kelly. That other left-handed arm if the Twins go down that path. O'Rourke, Bouchiers, Breslow, just to name a few. And the 2-2 pitch, a comebacker off O'Rourke's glove, bouncing out near second. Villalma bare hands bobbles, and everybody's safe. O'Rourke had a chance to field that comebacker in a check swing, first base out of the mound. It got by O'Rourke, and then it was Villalma charging, and off his right hand, could not make the play. As O'Rourke just could not make the play, skipped underneath the glove to the backhand side. And Kelly is on. That's going to be a base hit for Kelly. And now Justin Williams, left-handed batting right fielder. 6-4 Twins here in the 7th inning as O'Rourke holds high. The leg kick and the pitch, ground ball to short, off Reginato into center field. Rounding second, taking third is Kelly as Williams slips around first but finds his feet. He is going to reach base safely on a rocket to short. Tough play. Reginato to his left. No time to really get behind that ball as that was scalded to the shortstop's left. And the Rays now have runners at the corners. That is ruled a base hit.
Definitely hit hard, Corey, and just reaction there, and he kind of got in trouble when he backed up on it. And when he backed up on it on that half a step, that kind of got him in the bad hop area. But if he fields that ball, he'll have plenty of time to turn a double play and help O'Rourke out.
I think I heard E6 now is how they're going to score that.
Could have been. Said he backed up on it, and that's what got him in trouble.
So the second error committed by the Twins today. Nico Goodrum had an error defensively in the first. Now the throw back to O'Rourke from the first baseman. Haig is dropped by Ryan, but chases it down behind the mound, so no further advancement from the runners. Michael Marjama hitting for Tampa Bay, wearing number 80, steps in from the right side as O'Rourke goes off speed. It's a strike. Down and inside, nothing in one. So Kelly at third, the tying run, Williams at first. Still nobody out. Beg your pardon, one out here in this 7th inning. Double play would end it right now. Line foul down the right side. Twins are defending in that manner. Offensively, the Twins scored 3 runs in the second, 3 more in the 5th. A Nico Goodrum 3-run homer in the second tied the game. Twins then took the lead with that 3-run 5th. RBI double Benji Gonzalez. Sac fly Zach Granite RBI. And a 2-out run scoring single from Joe Mauer capped off that 3-run 5th. And now it's 6-4, but the Rays making noise here in the 7th. 0-2 on Marjama. And here it comes, down low, spiked and blocked by Garver. Ball 1. Sunshine right now smothering the playing surface and the fans. Game top temperatures in the upper 70s today. Ryan O'Rourke trying to work out of this jam here. 1-2 strikes on Marjama. And here's the pitch. A line drive center field. Granite charging, catching off his hip. And the runners hold. So a line drive caught by Granite, made the snag off his right hip. But holding at third base was Dalton Kelly. So with that, 2 outs. Runner still at first and third. And this is Ryan Brett, the second baseman.
Got a little bit of a break right there. That guy was caught in between. Is that ball going to land? Do I go halfway, or do I get back and tag up? When he made a decision, it was well too late.
Yeah, the crack of the bat, Danny, I thought that Kelly was going to tag and test Granite's arm.
Line drives like that, you react back, you tag up, because if the ball does land, you still have plenty of time to go ahead and get in to home plate. But it's what he did. He kind of came down about not halfway. And then he kind of didn't read it very well.
Fastball down low on Ryan Brett. Brett, strong kid. Sporting a beard. It's from the right side. So Kelly at third, Williams at first, now 2 outs. Twins by 2, and the 1-0 swing and a miss off speed. That had Brett way out in front. A ball and a strike. Off day tomorrow. Twins are back here Wednesday. We'll have it for you on the radio here against the St. Louis Cardinals at noon. The game will also be televised by Fox Sports North. The Duke is here. And the 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. And this marks our final simulcast of the Grapefruit League season. It's been a blast yet again. Thanks to our friends from Fox Sports North for allowing us to partner up again this spring.
Why is it we get excited when the Duke comes into town?
Fresh bait. As O'Rourke checks on Williams back at first, and he's in standing, 2 outs. Now the Duke looks svelte. He looks rested, and he is ready to go. He'll be on the air Wednesday. One ball, 2 strikes on Ryan Brett in the 7th. And the pitch chopped foul past third. Now normally the Duke works alongside Bert, but Bert's still with the Dutch team, the WBC. I understand that Rick Horton from the St. Louis Cardinals broadcast crew is going to partner up with the Duke for that telecast on Wednesday.
I'd like to try that gig once.
Spring training. Yeah, you have clout. Just knock on the door and go in. The 1-2, a fly ball, pop fly into right. Palka back and now in. He's got it, and O'Rourke works out of it. Spring training or not, Ryan O'Rourke showcasing that familiar emotion as he escapes the jam here in the 7th inning. Rays leave 2. We stretch at the CenturyLink Sports Complex. Twins still lead 6-4.
We'll always
Medicine brings you Twins baseball. From aspiring youth athletes to the pros, Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine will help you meet your sports performance goals. Call today to make your appointment at Mayo Clinic Square in Minneapolis. Twins lead 6-4 in the home half of the 7th. Angel Villalma batting. New pitcher for Tampa Bay, hard-throwing right-hander Ryan Stanek. 6'4", 180. And there's a fastball pumped in for strike 2 called on Villalma. This guy can hit the upper 90s with ease.
Kind of a rough spring so far. And at some of his numbers, just 4 innings, 4 games, 2 innings.
This is inside on Villalma, ball 1. Last year, AA and AAA. 113 strikeouts and just over 100 innings. And the 1-2 pitch, line to left, down the line, slicing, just foul. Ooh. Just fouled on the left field line. Now, if this was the regular season, that would be one you could look at because the ball landed beyond the third base umpire. Again, no replay here in spring training. A slicing liner on the left field line. It was close.
Oh, Corey, they were talking about other things to speed up the game, and one of them I heard, and I'm not sure if they've implemented it or they have decided yet, that is the manager, if he did want to ask for a review of that, they're looking at maybe he has 30 seconds to make that decision. And I'm not sure if that's a borderline as to, boy, a lot of communicating that the video guy is going to have to make.
Pitch is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was 98 on the radar gun here. Other replay changes in effect for 2017. The time of replay is going to be limited to 2 minutes. Now, there are going to be exceptions to that. Now, what those exceptions are weren't exactly made clear. Pitches outside, ball 3. What comes to mind, at least as I read it, was if the umpire is looking at 2 games at the same time, or if there's some kind of technical snafu with the replay equipment, say, on the East Coast, and the 3-2 swinging a foul back as the bat goes flying off the hands of Villalma, but thankfully out of the warning track behind the plate. Pace of play, that's a hot topic of discussion. That's not going away either. That's going to stay on the front burner for many. And the 3-2 is swinging a foul tip. The catcher hangs on to it. Villalma strikes out. When I say many, I mean the commissioner's desk, ownership, players union. Irvin Santana, he joined us not too long ago when the pitch clock is a part of minor league baseball, and Irvin told us it's inevitable that it's going to come up here, and we'll see if that does indeed happen in the near future. It won't be this season. So 1 down for the shortstop, Reginado, as a fastball painted inside corner, strike called on Leonardo. 97 on the radar gun. Leonardo Reginado, and the 0-1 up and inside. A ball and a strike. Twins 6, Tampa Bay 4 in the 7th. And here it comes. Line to first and off the glove of the first baseman Kelly. Trickling into right. And it's a single for Reginado as he goes the opposite way. A 1-out knock, and Zach Granite will bat. His 4th plate appearance today. He's 0 for 2 with a sac fly RBI. And the third baseman, Hager, he's not ruling out the bunt here, playing a few steps in, out of the grass, off the line at third. There's Reginado. Has a good lead at first. He doesn't go. Zach doesn't show bunt. Fastball misses low and away, ball 1. Reginado, if you study his professional career, not huge stolen base numbers. For a guy that has a good career on base percentage in the minor leagues, around 340. As a fastball misses high on Zach, 2-0. Did steal 9 though at Chattanooga last year in 100+ games. Good count here for Granite, 2-0. From the stretch, and the pitch line up the middle and through into center, a hit. Favorable count. Good swing there from Granite. Back-to-back hard hit balls from Reginato, and now Granite 2 on 1 out. And we'll see if the right fielder, speaking of guys that can drive the ball, Daniel Polka can do that as the Twins lead by 2.
Right fielder, Daniel Polka.
Something we have mentioned a few times in games down here, fitting considering Granite just batted. That if not for Granite, the guy hitting right now could have been the Twins minor league player of the year. And Daniel Polka combined at AA and AAA, hit 34 home runs last season. Stanek from the stretch, and the pitch, line drive, base hit right field. Reginato takes third, and he's going to be held as Granite puts on the brakes around second. And the Twins aren't messing around. 3 sharply hit balls consecutively. Reginato, Granite, and now Polka, and the bases are loaded. 1 out for Ben Paulson. Twins hitters, Danny, locking into that Stanek fastball here.
I looked at some of his numbers. He's been giving up a lot of hits, but it's all fastballs. He's not been able to get that secondary pitch, that breaking ball. So regardless if you're 95, 97, in this case here with Stanek, it's straight, and he comes right over the top. Guys are just squaring it up pretty good, looking for the fastball.
So the Twins can kind of put things away here. Time called around home plate. Bases loaded, just 1 out. Now we saw Jorge Polanco at a grand slam yesterday, and now we'll see what Paulson could do today. Former Colorado Rocky. Left-handed batter. Stanek set. And here's the pitch. Fastball low and away. Ball 1. Nick Schufo, the catcher, blocking that one. Paulson, big league, 16 career home runs. Hit 11 with the Rockies in 2015. The most playing time he's had in one season at the big leagues. 39 games with Colorado last year. More time at AAA Albuquerque. And now Paulson calls time, and Schufo also a step away from the batter's box. The catcher out to visit with Stanek here in the 7th inning. Twins have a left-hander getting loose in the bullpen. Buddy Boshears scheduled to work today. Rays have a right-hander warming up, and the 1-0 is outside. Ball 2. Paulson from Plymouth, Wisconsin, makes his home now in Tempe, Arizona. A non-roster invite as he swings and lifts one to left, shallow on the charge, and this ball is going to be slid and trapped. 1 run scores. Here comes Granite heading home to throw to the plate. Late. Throw to third is going to be late there. So 2 runs score on the single from Paulson. Boy, Granite flying home from second base. He and Reginato are in, and the Twins now lead by 4. It's 8-4. The left fielder is Gata, and he tried a sliding attempt in left field, and he could not come up with it. Then the ball popped out of his hand as he came up to try to make a throw in. Never a clean transition from glove to hand, and with that, Granite scored, and the Twins have runners at the corners, leading by 4. Polka to third as Matt Haig bats as he looks at a Stanek pitch low and inside. Ball 1. I believe that scored a single and 1 RBI, and then E7, allowing Granite to score, and the 1-0 on Haig is a strike.
I think the error is going to be charged. It looked like Granite might have stopped at third. Then once he saw that ball come out, went ahead and took off.
So Gata charged with the error. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Haig. 1 out. Here it comes. Check swing. Throw back to third base, and Polka's out. Nick Schufel with a fantastic seed right down the line at third. And he picks off Polk at third base. Wow, what a throw there from Schufel behind the plate. We know Stanek throws hard, so does Schufel, the catcher.
Polka dives back. He might have a better chance, but he elected to try to reach with that right foot. Kind of a designed play, almost a borderline pitch out.
So now a swing and a foul, 2-2 on Haig.
You know, when you run a play like that, it's with the catcher, the third baseman, so he's going to abandon his position a little bit early in anticipation of that ball not being over the plate, so they can't put the ball in play.
Twins by 4 now, 2 outs. Paulson at first and the 2-2. Check swing the dirt. They appealed down to third. Our first rather did not go on a slider, 3-2. So that was a designed call there, you think, between the pitcher and the catcher?
Absolutely, because it was a borderline. He asked for that pitch. Sometimes with a right-handed hitter, it kind of blocks off the base runner a little bit, his sight line, and they'll ask for that ball up and in. So you get the hitter to arch his back, and then you kind of step back, throw behind him. In this case, almost a borderline pitch out where he stepped out in front of home plate and threw down to third.
Haig strikes out swinging, but not before the Twins add 2 runs. 1 is unearned. On 4 hits, the Twins leave 1 through 7. It now reads Twins 8, Tampa Bay 4 on your home for Twins Baseball.
Hi, I'm Frank.
Runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors for the Twins. Rays have 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. 8th inning. And the 8th inning will belong to Buddy Boshears, who's on for the 5th time. Boshears has logged 3 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, struck out 5. And he will face the catcher. That's left-handed Nick Schufel. To begin the Rays' 8th. Second catcher used by Tampa Bay today as Boshears misses inside, ball 1. Tampa Bay won 68 games last year, lost 94. From the stretch, and the 1-0 is a strike called. Kevin Cash is back managing Tampa Bay before taking over this job. Kevin Cash was the bullpen coach for Terry Francona. The Cleveland Indians. And the 1-1 is a knee-high strike from Boshears, 1-2.
Had a couple of good coaches also with him, and Tom Foley been there with Tampa for a number of years. I think he's going on 20 years there with that organization. Also Jim Hickey, and we thought Hickey was going to go with Madden to Chicago, but not the case.
And the 1-2 is chopped to the right side. 2-hopper, Vielma Fields, shoulder height. And he throws out Schufel. There was out number 1. A couple years ago when Kevin Cash was still the bullpen coach with the Indians, and he was going through the interview process to get the Rays job, which he eventually did. The Indians stage, now this was a brilliant move. The Indians stage kind of a mock process where they had hours and hours and hours of questions with Kevin Cash, and they peppered him on everything he could possibly expect to have asked to him and about him for his Tampa Bay interview. As Cade Gata, the left fielder, takes down low ball 1, and a member of that group that had all these questions ready for Kevin Cash is now the president, is now the chief baseball officer of the Minnesota Twins. And that's Derek Falvey. And the 1-0 is off speed strike call, but Derek was part of that group that got Kevin Cash ready for the interview with Tampa Bay. And I know that Derek and Kevin met before the spring training opener here back in February. And those two have mutual respect for one another. The 1-1 is outside and low, and all the work that Derek, and he wasn't alone. There was a team of people that really helped Kevin Cash prepare for the managerial job. But Derek Falvey played a key role in that. 2 balls and 1 strike on Gata. Twins by 4, 8th inning. Here it comes. It's slapped to right. This is Polka in, now going back, battling the sun, reaches down and bracing himself with his right hand of the grass. Polka stays with it, makes the squeeze for out number 2. Play there from Polka as that ball was making its descent. Daniel kind of bent the knees a little bit, had the glove up, shading the sun. Then with his offhand, he's kind of braced himself on the grass and securely caught it for the 2nd out. So now Jake Hager, his 2nd at bat. He struck out in the 6th. And here's the pitch from Boshiers. It's pulled foul past 3rd. Well, MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus enjoy almost 300 spring training games. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Base is empty, 2 outs, 8th inning. And the 0-1 is outside from Boshiers. A ball and a strike on Jake Hager. Shears off the 3rd base side. Kicks and deals home, and the 1-1 is low ball 2. Boshiers, 28 years old. I saw him in spring training last year and was reassigned to minor league camp in late March last year. Began the season with Rochester, but then had his contract purchased by the big league club in late May. And the 2-1 line foul off the net behind the plate in all Boshiers 37 games. Struck out 37 hitters in 36 innings. And Boshiers in that group trying to solidify a spot in the Twins bullpen, and spots are there for the taking. Now the 2-2 line to short, on a bounce, a diving stop by Reginaldo to his feet, spins, throws low, dug out by Haig. Good play all around. Reginaldo gloved it. Haig dug it out. And the Twins with a solid defensive play ending the Rays' 8th inning. Through 7.5 now from Fort Myers, Twins 8, Rays 4 on your home for Twins baseball. Twins lead 8-4. New pitcher on for the Rays, a right-hander, Taylor Gruyere. 6'3", 195. He was at AA Montgomery last year. Started 26 games. Not a bad year. 89 punch-outs. ERA in the 2 upper threes for Gruyere last year. As Mitch Garver will bat to begin the Twins half of the 8th inning. Twins were down 3-0 until a Nico Goodrum 3-run homer tied things up in the second. And the Twins were down by 1 entering the 5th inning, but scored 3 and have not trailed since. As Gruyere misses down and away on Garver. 0-1. Mitch struck out his first time. Righty to righty. And the 1-0 is off the outside corner and a bit low. 2-0. And Danny was telling you about Mitch Garver earlier and a solid season he had in 2016. AA, AAA, and the 2-0 pitch is bounced foul. But those that have seen Mitch climb to the system, and when he was drafted, 9th round pick in 2013, there was some discussion. He was drafted as a catcher, but folks weren't sure if he would stay at that position as his professional career began. But he has worked hard at his craft. And the 2-1 up and inside, ball 3. And we're going to try to have Jeff Smith, Twins first base coach and former manager down here with the Fort Myers Miracle. We're going to try to have Jeff join us here before we wind down camp here as Garver bangs one to left, hit well. That ball going, it's back and going to bang off the base of the wall. Garver to second base is a leadoff double to begin the 8th inning. So to finish up that thought, though, people tell you that the 2015 season was the key defensive year for Garver, where he and Jeff Smith worked with the catchers, a former catcher himself, and is now going to still work with the catchers for the big league club here. But he and Garver just kind of clicked that 2015 season while Mitch was down here. And kind of a catalyst for what developed last year all around. And Garver now doubles to begin the 8th inning. And here's Nico Goodrum. He's 1 for 3 as he swings and misses. Shufo calls time as he will chat with the pitcher Gruyere. Playing time's been tough for Garver because Jason Castro is brand new to the team, and Castro, he's trying to get familiar with the starters, the bullpen guys. He's been out there a lot. We've seen Jimenez, we've seen Murphy. And the 0-1, Goodrum swings and misses, nothing in 2. Since that home run, Goodrum fly to left and fly to right. And the 0-2 in the dirt, skips away from Shufo, but he keeps it in front. And with that, Garver holds at second base. Justin Haley started today. 2 innings, 3 runs, 2 were earned. 3 hits, he struck out 1. Justin making his first Grapefruit League start. One ball, 2 strikes. Off speed is tapped to first, fair near the bag. Gloved by Kelly. He'll take it to the base to beat Goodrum, but a productive out as Garver advances down to third. So 1 away for Tommy Field. 1 for 1. Tommy grounded out to short in the 6th. Infield is playing in. Looks like Randy Rosario warming up in the Twins bullpen. Tampa Bay is a righty, loosening. Righty to righty as Field steps away, and for a brief moment Gruyere steps off the rubber, and now everybody resets. And here it comes, fastball low and away, ball 1. Some news around the Central. Jason Kipnis has been bothered by a sore shoulder all camp long, and he's looking doubtful for opening day. And the 1-0 pitch is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Salvador Perez is scared the other day in the World Baseball Classic. He collided with his teammate Drew Butera. And the 2-0 is popped up shallow left. This is Gata. Now to his left, he'll squeeze it, and Garver has to hold. As Field pops out to left, so 2 down. No doubt all those watching and rooting for Kansas City frightened by that image of Perez unable to put any weight on his leg. Thankfully, nothing torn, just a hyperextension of his knee, and he should be okay. Ian Desmond of the Colorado Rockies, he's out, fractured a bone in his hand. It's a big loss, big-time free agent signing by Colorado this offseason. Here's Villalma stepping in, looking low and inside ball 1. Angel Villalma. And the 1-0 low. Blocked by Schufo. 2 balls and no strikes. Villalma, 22 years old, was added to the 40-man roster back in mid-November. 90 games at Double-A last year. And the 2-0 pitch, low ball 3. A plus defender. And the 3-0, taking a knee-high strike all the way. And we've seen Villalma play not just short in some of these games down here, also some second base. He could be paired with Nick Gordon at Double-A this year. Those two may flip-flop. And the 3-1, strike 2 called. Back-to-back fastballs from Guerreri. And it's full. Twins by 4 in the 8th. 2 outs. With Garver at third base. And the payoff pitch, a smash up the middle and through into center, a hit. Garver scores, RBI single, Villalma. 9-4 Twins. Angel Villalma. His first name spelled E-N-G-E-L-B, and we have for the last 3 or 4 years had so many different pronunciations of his name. But now we're all pretty secure with Angel Villalma. And here is Leonardo Regginato. Kind of sparked that 2-run 7th with a single. As he bats for the second time, and the pitch gets away from Schufo, and Villalma rounds second, and he holds there. A wild pitch. Charge to Guerreri. One ball, no strikes on Regginato. With 2 outs. And a fastball is a strike. Called on Leonardo. Now the 1-1 in the dirt. This one off the glove of Schufo, and holding at second base is Villalma. Backhand attempt there from Schufo, and he just slowed it down enough to keep Villalma from advancing 90 feet. 2 balls and 1 strike. Twins lead 9-4 in the 8th inning. And the 2-1 low, throw to second base, and Vielma back in. The ball off the glove of the second baseman Brett, but again stays in the infield. 3-1. These two teams meet again on Friday in Port Charlotte. Today, the third of 4 meetings between the Twins and the Rays. The 3-1, low ball 4. Reginato walks, and now Granite has been in there from the get-go. He and Goodrum have played the entire game. Zach has had another good day. Sac fly RBI, singled score to the 7th, officially 1 for 3. Two on and 2 out. The pitch is a strike as Rieri took something off that time.
Hey, Zach. It's okay to swing, Zach.
Tyler Duffy starts here on Wednesday at noon Central. Twins and the Cardinals. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and a slicing fly ball, playable left center. This is Gada calling and catching, and the inning is over. Twins add 1 more. On 2 hits while stranding 2, we go to the 9th. Twins lead 9-4. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Twins are 3 outs away from their 11th Grapefruit League win. On top of Tampa Bay, 9-4. We thank you for joining us today. Let's see if Randy Rosario can get the last 3 outs. We've seen Randy a few times down here. Today his 5th appearance so far, 2 2/3 scoreless. A hit. He has struck out 2. Brandon Getzman leads off the Tampa Bay 9th. The center fielder. Strike called from Rosario, off speed 83 miles per hour, 0-1. Tommy John surgery, sideline Randy in 2014. And the 0-1 wrapped to short, backhanded pick. Reginato has time and a low throw, and again Haig tested, makes the play on the back end. 1 out. That's been a common sight, hasn't it, Danny, throughout camp, whether it's been Mauer, Paulson, Haig, Vargas, Park. Those backhanded picks on those short hop throws.
You know, and most of those first basemen are being challenged there a little bit with that pick by the throws from the shortstop. Not so much Sano, not so much from the second base position, but it seems like that shortstop getting that ball across the diamond, they're skipping it over there.
Willie Adames with a strike called. Randy Rosario last year 16 starts with Fort Myers before moving to the bullpen. And he's on the 40-man. As the pitch is down low, and he was kind of shifted from the rotation of the bullpen of the minor leagues last year. A couple of factors, command, but also with the addition of his 40-man roster. And the 1-1, a swing and a miss. His clock has begun, and with that, Twins believe, at least right now, that his quickest path to the big leagues is that out of the bullpen. Ball and 2 strikes on Adames. Twins lead 9-4 here in the 9th inning. Did pitch in the fall league just last year. And the 1-2 pitch, chopped foul down the third base side. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Willie Adames. Here it comes, fastball high. 2-2, 96 in the radar gun there from Randy Rosario.
Yeah, velocity's there. I want to see a few more of his off-speed pitches, see if he can command those.
Does have a slider and a changeup, part of his makeup from the windup. And the 2-2 popped up, playable, shallow right, all Daniel Palka. If he sees it, he does, and he catches it off his right shoulder. 2 outs.
That is the first baseman, Dalton Kelly.
So now Dalton Kelly. Randy Rosario off the third base side. The sign from Garver and the pitch lined to third, and that's going to go over the head of the third baseman. Tommy Field down the left field line. With that, Kelly will glide to second base, a 2-out double. Slicing liner, Field a leaping attempt and just out of reach. And the Rays still have some life, but down by 5 with 2 outs. Now the right fielder Justin Williams.
Curious to see where Randy Rosario is going to end up this year, or at least start the season. Like you said, Fort Myers last year, 16 starts, 21 ball games, and 4 games with the Chattanooga Ball Club. But not sure if he's going to start back at Double-A and then kind of quickly maybe get on that fast track, because he's got the velocity.
If he does start, Danny, hypothetically at Double-A, he could join a bullpen of guys like, Nick Birdie and Ryan Eads and even John Curtis. With 2 outs, there's a strike on Williams, and you combine that with a Double-A starting staff, and this is subject to change, but throwing out some names that could be a Double-A with Steven Gonsalves and Fernando Romero and Felix Jorge and Tyler J and Cole Stewart, among others. Aaron Sluggers could be there starting. And the 1-0, a check swing. He went. There's a pitch off speed. It was down 2. 1-1 now on Williams.
Well, I think the way that they've been using him here in spring training, usually the guys that they know are going to be starting down in the minor leagues, they've stretched them out a little bit farther, or they're going to hurry up and get down there so they can be stretched out for the season. But kid here, Rosario, just kind of an inning here and an inning there, a third of an inning, and he has pitched well.
1 ball, 1 strike on Justin Williams. And a fastball outside corner. Strike 2 called. 94, and that's something else too. If you think about Rosario, left-handed arm out of the bullpen, Twins have some options from the left side to begin the year, but none have the velocity that this guy features, at least right now. 1-2 on Williams. In the 9th, Twins by 5. Here it comes, and it's inside, and it was a foul ball on a check swing near the hands. A check swing, and Williams got a piece, and we'll do it again. Rosario has battled command over his career, and hence part of the reason to shift him away from the rotation and kind of minimize that out of the bullpen. The 2-2 fouled back, went off speed that time, and Williams waited back, and we'll do it again.
I like what he does. I feature here a little bit high velocity, but every once in a while he'll change his arm slot a little bit on that breaking ball there to kind of try to get a little more depth with that breaking ball, and sometimes that can be ironed out a little bit later as he advances on.
He seemed quicken up too. Does he just kind of quicken up his action a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. He is pretty quick with his delivery, and that he moves pretty quick.
2-2 up and inside, ball 3.
But right there, just kind of overcooked that one, and that again, arm slot down a little bit more than when he throws the breaking ball. And the good hitters, the big league hitters, will be able to figure that out, that if he drops down arm slot a little bit more times than not fastball, if he really gets high on it, high 3/4 delivery, then that's pretty much going to be his breaking ball.
Rosario, 22 years old, from the Dominican. 3-2 on Williams. Man at second base, 2 outs, and the payoff pitch, pop foul, slicing out of play. Now before this at bat continues, let's step out again. 10 seconds for identification on your home for Twins baseball.
You got him, Justin, right here. Base hit.
Three and 2 on Williams, 2 outs, 9th inning, and the pitch got him swinging. This ball game is over. Rosario went off speed. He strikes out Williams. The Twins beat the Rays 9-4. We're back with more from Fort Myers next on your home for Twins baseball.